You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly.
Welcome to the Village of Wappinger Falls monthly meeting of the Mayor and the Board of Trustees for Wednesday, December 14th, 2022. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
For recreation announcements and special events, I have a letter I received from Miss Heather McCormick. The Village of Wappinger Falls Recreation Department held two events, Halloween on Saturday, October 22nd, and the annual tree lighting on Saturday, November 26th. The Halloween Trunk or Treat event was held in conjunction with the Village of Wappinger Falls PBA. It was a beautiful day with approximately 1,000 parents and children. The children enjoyed face painting, a DJ, trunk or treating, a parade, and a costume contest, and a huge pumpkin patch. The committee would like to thank the following: Wappingers PBA, William T. Garner and S.W. Johnson Firehouses, Messier Homestead Village Businesses on East Main Street, President Jackie Muller of the Businessmen's and Professional Association, ShopRite, BJ's, Hannaford's, Carl Panaleo, Joey Cavassini, Trustee Larosella, Graceland Tattoo for face painting, James Bainley Jr. of New England Greenscapes, Trustee Nesnick for donations of candy, and Trustee Ruffin access hearing service for the pumpkins and volunteers. If anyone was missed, there's just so many volunteers, it was hard to name them all, and we're all very grateful for the volunteers. The annual tree lighting event took place on another beautiful day, Saturday, November 26th. The event started with the holiday light parade that started on Elm Street and down South Avenue and into Mizzier Park. The parade had several floats, and Santa ended the parade. The participants helped Santa and Mrs. Claus count down to the lighting of the tree. The attendees got to dance to Christmas music, have refreshments, watch a parade, and give Santa their Christmas wish list. Thank you to the fire departments, police department, and many, many parade participants and the volunteers. These events were made a success because of teamwork and volunteerism. The Recreation Department is always looking for volunteers and ideas. If you're interested in volunteering, please reach out to the village, 297-8773, extension 3. They're really terrific events and well-attended, and I think they need a round of applause for all the work and all the volunteers for what they did.
Before you move forward, Clerk, I would just like to remind everyone that on Saturday, the Wreaths Across America event will take place at the Wappingers Rural Cemetery. There'll be about 540 wreaths put on the veterans' graves. And that starts at 12 noon.
Also, do you want to mention them?
Also, if I may, Mr. Mayor, on Tuesday, November 20th, the menorah that is placed in Mizzier Park, there will be a formal ceremony to honor Hanukkah and celebrate it with a local rabbi. All are invited to attend.
5:30 p.m.
5:30 p.m. Thank you.
Are there any other recognitions, announcements, or special events? Roll call. Mayor Serino.
Present.
Trustee Sidoti.
Here.
Trustee Tilizak.
Mayor.
Trustee Nesnick.
Here.
Trustee Huber.
Present.
Trustee Ruffin.
I
Absent.
believe he's running late. He was on Long Island today.
Trustee Lauricella.
Here.
Village Attorney Wallace.
Here.
We have a vote on action on minutes for November 1st, November 11th, and November 30th.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mayor votes aye.
Carried. Authorization to pay bills as per approved warrant.
I'll make the motion. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mayor votes aye.
Opposed? Carried. Resolution number 25, 2022. Can I have a motion to accept resolution appointing Superintendent of Public Works for Village of Wappingers Falls?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Roll call vote. Mayor Serino.
Aye.
Trustee Huber.
Aye.
Trustee Sidoti.
I recuse myself from this.
Trustee Nesnick.
Aye.
Trustee Ruffin, absent. Trustee Tilishak.
Aye.
Trustee Lauricella.
Aye.
Carried. Resolution number 26, 2022. Resolution employing special counsel to the Village of Wappingers Falls in connection with the Route 9 sewer project. Be it resolved that Daniel P. Adams, Esquire of Adams LaCare LLP, be and he hereby is employed and retained as special counsel to the Village of Wappingers Falls in connection with the Route 9 sewer project and related contract with Contech Construction Technology Incorporated. And be it resolved that Daniel P. Adams, Esquire, shall be paid for such services. I didn't get the rate, attorney.
$3.50 an hour.
How much?
$3.50.
$3.50 per hour. Can I have someone move that resolution?
I would like to make a motion that we employ special counsel to the Village of Wappingers Falls in connection with Route 9 sewer project.
I'll second it.
Trustee Huber seconded it.
No, trustee Lorisella.
Mayor Sereno.
Aye.
Trustee Huber.
Aye.
Trustee Sidoti.
Aye.
Trustee Nesnick.
Aye.
Trustee Ruffin, absent. Trustee Telesak.
Aye.
Trustee Lorisella.
Aye.
Carried. I still haven't received anything from our village engineer about Sarah's Mediterranean Grill that we're requesting a grease trap. So it was tabled December, the end of November. I don't have anything on it, so the only thing we could table for the next meeting, which will probably be, maybe be in January.
I make the motion to table.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Is that Jen?
Yep.
Adam made the table. Did Adam?
Yes, sir.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Carried.
While we're here to table this into the new year, what is the board's position for the light agenda for the workshop on the 28th of the month? There's probably going to be at least 3 people missing.
I will not be available.
Let's have the meeting, regular scheduled meeting in January, the first of the year then.
That'll be January 11th.
I agree.
Do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion, we have a regular scheduled meeting in January 11th.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Carried. 11123. We are in receipt of election results from S.W. Johnson and William T. Garner. First Assistant Chief for S.W. Johnson is Mike Travis, Captain Rick Fasaro, Jr., First Lieutenant Kevin Powell, Second Lieutenants Matt Brace, Rob Ward. Drivers for engines are Dave Alfonso, Kevin Delahanty, Anthony Hensley. Assistant Engineers Kevin Huber. Fire Police John Chase, John Panaline, Anthony Galucci. Fire Wardens Kevin Delahanty and Mike Panaline. President John Chase. Vice President Ray Panaleo Jr. Treasurer Nick Panaleo. Secretary Jerry Travis. Trustees George Sutton, Kevin Huber, Ron Raphael. Auditors Jerry Travis, Ken Jennings, George Sutton. Parade Marshal Warren Huckalowski. I don't know what this is.
Delegate.
Delegate to Dutchess County
Volunteer Firemen's Association.
Volunteer Fire Association, Ray Chase, Ken Jennings, Ray Chase, Anthony Galucci. Uniform Custodian, Kevin Huber, John Chase. Custodian, Anthony Galucci. Secretary, Awards Program, Kevin Powell. Chaplain, Warren Huckalowski. Refreshment Chairs, John Televero, Rick Fasaro. Can I have a motion to accept S.W. Johnson's
I'll make the motion.
lineup?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mayor votes aye.
Carried. William T. Gardner Engine Company officers for 2023. Fire Chief 68-1 Jason Ensign. Assistant Chief 68-3 John Rogers. Captain Alex Bravo. Assistant Captain Joe Krieger. First Lieutenant Joe Gordano. Second Lieutenant Stephen Weaver and Thomas Kellerman. Engineers John Bashir.
Basher.
Stephen Pano, and Alex Bravo, and Thomas Kellerman is the assistant. President John Basher. Vice President Steve Pano, Secretary Danielle Masterson, Treasurer Mike Brown, Custodian Jason Ensign, Chaplain Adam Van Tassel and Thomas Kellerman. Trustee 1, Jason Ensign. Trustee 2, Adam Van Tassel. And Trustee 3, Steve Pano. Can I have a motion to accept
I'll make
William T. Gardner?
I'll make the motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mayor votes aye.
Carried. The mayor has been,
Can I ask you a question? We were given an agenda that was emailed and it talked about public hearing. Is that?
oh, we took that off because we haven't heard back from the county yet.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you for clarifying.
Yep. Sorry, I should have
No,
mentioned
that's
that.
fine.
But the hearing is still open.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
The mayor's been pursuing getting crosswalks up by the corner up there on West Main Street. The one to be lit up that's across from Convent. And the mayor met with Dutchess County DOT, and this is what she wrote back. She spoke with her regional traffic department about what is the best option for the area. They said that the request for bids would be the best way to change the signage there, which is a crosswalk initially intended for school children, that there is no longer a school there, so the sign should probably be moved. She noticed that there are already a warning pedestrian crossing ahead sign prior to the crosswalk going north before the curve, which will need to be updated. Since a big issue at that intersection that was discussed during the meeting was speed, they also brought up if you were interested in installing a radar speed feedback sign or speed trailers by that intersection, something maybe you would like to bring up at your board meeting. That would probably be those things you see. I'm thinking it's mounted on a small trailer and it flashes the speed. But I think we also have something in the village.
Yeah, we have permanent units in 2 places in the village.
We have some that are in fixed positions. I know there's one on Clap, and List. But I thought there were some mobile ones that Charlie had.
There are.
I think we have a mobile one. I'm not that familiar with it, where it's being used. Hasn't been used recently.
Okay, I can put this on the agenda for next meeting and see if we can find that one.
Yeah, if I could just say, the mayor was having a meeting, I think it was an impromptu meeting when I was out after work, and I spoke with a resident, and there are real concerns about speeding in that area, and I think, if the mayor wants to be more pointed about it, I don't know if it's appropriate to discuss the resident's name or not, and maybe it doesn't matter. But there were real concerns by this gentleman and his family who's lived, on that stretch for decades, and I think it only makes sense to really advocate for them to put something there.
I am, as the clerk, aware of many situations there, which it was suggested now that the school isn't there, that be erased and moved further toward Rosemary's and connect down that way and eliminate that altogether, because it is very dangerous.
It is a strange.
So that might be something.
But I meant the speed. I was just.
Oh, yeah.
The speed issue occurs for a combination of events, items near the traffic light, and then on that straightaway down past, say, Clinton Street, or to the turn. And it is not uncommon to see some cars at 45 miles an hour. I don't want to say 50, but it's not uncommon for 45. And so a couple residents who live along that stretch asked if we could do something. So that, for this item, that's,
Mr.
this
Mayor?
isn't exactly the item relative to the DOT. This is a sidebar issue of that. The crosswalk at Convent Avenue was from a group of constituents who live on the west side. Let's see, let me get my directions here. East side of Main Street, which would be the even number side, and then there's some people on the other side of the street who would like to see a lighted crosswalk. And so when the meeting with DOT occurred, they talked about solar lighting of the lights as opposed to electric, because there's no electric and you'd have to run the whole electric in, and it would be much more costly digging up sidewalks and everything else. So there's a couple options going on. And so that's what that's about. So there's two issues in the one issue. It's the speed on the street, and then there's the crosswalk where some level of safety, because if you're heading north and you come around the turn, that crosswalk comes up to you pretty close, pretty quick. Coming south, you can at least see it because you're on the straightaway.
And if I may,
Yes.
and I agree, there's multiple issues here, but the speed issue, I agree with Trustee Lauricella. If you're going north and you're trying to turn left, either way, if you're trying to turn against traffic, you take your life in your hands, both from oncoming traffic coming at you sometimes and people behind you who don't expect you to stop. So if we can find that portable unit, we don't need to put it in one place. We need to put it over a length of time in several places to slow traffic down. Because, Mr. Mayor, you won't say 50, but I'll say that people go on 50 miles an hour on that road sometimes.
Okay.
They look a bat out of you-know-where.
When you want to move it, you can put it in front of my house, because I got a checkered flag. I give them the wind when they go by.
Thank you, sir.
I believe the couple of the movable signs with the speed, I think they were lent to us from Dutchess County at one point or another.
I don't think they were. I think we purchased them.
We did.
Yeah, Commissioner Ferry,
We purchased them last
you
year.
recently.
We have two of them.
The last time I saw it, one was down on Lower Market.
Okay.
But we could use many, so if the DOT wants to work with us, like it says here, maybe they will have equipment they can put there. We can pepper the other ones elsewhere. We just got to address it. We've all agreed. So what do we do now? How do we just get that going?
Well, Commissioner's going to look for the portable ones.
I'll look for the portables.
And if we don't find them, I'll call Dutchess County Sheriff and find out what you got to go
great.
through to
Thank
get
you.
the platform.
Perfect. All right, cool. Okay, handled. Excellent.
Fill the vacancy for the Finance Committee. Mayor.
This issue came up because Trustee Lauricella, who is the finance chairman, is having some difficulties between his work schedule. 'Tis the season, and he's extremely busy, and I didn't realize how busy he is. He's booked up till July or so, and he's squeezing other people in.
I just need to be relieved. We don't need to talk about my whole,
Well,
please.
so I am going to accept his resignation as finance chair, and I will make Trustee Ruffin the chair. And so now I need a trustee to volunteer for signatory purposes as a finance member. So we got three choices. I can always sign if you get in a bind. So it's either Trustee Tilichek, Trustee Sadati, or Trustee Huber.
Mr. Mayor, I'll volunteer.
Okay, so I will appoint Trustee Tilichek to fill Trustee Lauricella's seat.
Thank you.
Okay, accept resignation of Gregory Supple Esquire as bond attorney.
We received a letter from Mr. Greg Supple, who is our bond attorney, that he is retiring from this position. And so we will have to find a new bond attorney. So, is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Carried. Need a motion to approve a new hire, full-time laborer for the water department.
I'll defer to the water chair, Jeff Smith.
Yeah, we had a interview a couple of nights ago.
Excuse me, Jeff, come up to, where's the microphone here?
He can use mine.
We had interviews last week. We wanted to hire two, but seeing that nobody has any idea where we are in our budget, we decided to only put up one. You were losing Kenny, 32 years. I think they should at least give him a bologna and American cheese sandwich with mustard, but we need somebody to replace that, and that puts us back at 3. I'm sorry, I thought the paperwork would be in your thing. I only know the gentleman as Justin. He already works for a water department. He probably would like to give a 2-week notice. So if I can get him...
When would that be effective? So we don't even kind of know the person.
I looked at the calendar, he probably wouldn't be able to start to January 2nd if he wants to give his boss a 2-week notice, which I think he probably would.
Okay, we have a motion to hire laborer for the water department.
This is a very peculiar way to go about doing this. We don't even know the
No,
person.
we already, this is already done.
Oh, okay.
We signed the memorandum of agreement.
It's a done deal. You guys already.
Oh, so why are we doing this?
Oh, this isn't for that hire.
This
is
isn't for
somebody
that
different.
hire. This is somebody, this is a whole nother person. Those other people have been, yeah. Correct? This is independent of the people we hired.
I believe trustee Lorcella is correct.
This isn't for the.
This is the water department person.
Right. This is independent of the other gentleman that we've just put through, that with the license.
No, no,
Yeah,
this is a packet that came across the water board that someone gave us. I don't know who. There was 5 individuals of names that they wanted to move to the water department.
I don't have a problem doing it, but this is a very peculiar way to do it when we don't even know the person's name.
Well, water.
That's nothing directed
Oh, I'm
to you.
sorry.
I'm not directing it at you. I'm just.
Our secretary was supposed to give it all, or I would have brought it from my meetings.
Let me check, see if I have the email here.
Am I wrong? Do you disagree?
This individual is replacing somebody who is retiring, is that correct?
Kenny Cruzy,
Right.
32 years.
Give him a pickle too.
Retiring on the 29th, but his last day will be the day before Christmas Eve.
Right.
But I don't think I can get this gentleman without giving him the option to give his boss a 2-week notice before January
He wants
2nd.
to do the right thing.
As of right now, we can take it as used vacation time, sick time and all that. We have 2 people running the water plant.
Right.
One is a new hire that does have experience, the other's been there 14 years.
Justin
So,
Kaddish?
Kaddish, yeah. I know
Justin
who's
Kaddish's
there
name
at
is.
the end.
Yes, we interviewed him. The water commissioners interviewed him. And he came out on top.
To clarify, he would be a laborer.
He's a laborer, will be a laborer.
Is he classified as a highway laborer though, or do we have a water laborer position?
They're all the same.
They're all the same.
All under one contract.
Is he step 1, correct?
Yes.
Does he have any operator's license or anything?
No, not yet.
He's coming in on the bottom rung of the ladder. And Kenny's going out in the top rung of the ladder, so I'm pretty sure we can afford to replace Kenny.
So someone's moving into Kenny's spot. He's just moving into the water.
John
He's
is
not
moving
necessarily
up
taking
to
Kenny's
running the
spot.
plant.
Right.
The new hire's moving up
Everybody's
to
moving,
John,
yeah.
and this one's down the bottom.
And this gentleman has the recommendation of the water board.
Of the water board?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, good with
We
me.
have a motion to approve the water department labor hire of Justin Cavish.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mayor votes aye.
Carried. Monthly updates, police.
Well, we have the commissioner here. I'm not sure if he was here to speak specifically.
I got nothing to report. If you have any questions on last month's report, I can answer that.
Well, what we do now is, we don't advertise that report formally. I get it, and then I send it out to the board.
So the only thing I will comment on then, without going through that information, is that we have been working together to get bids for the camera system. We have one bid. We're waiting for 2 more estimates, hoping that that camera system will be up and running. The commissioner's taking the ball and run with it. In addition, he's been working with Officer Farrell, who's done a parking audit. It's quite comprehensive. There is some data that discusses areas throughout the village, where parking is the issue, what is the issue, what is the signage that they found, how we can maybe correct that. So once the holidays are over, we're gonna have to, some of us will have to get together with Officer Farrell and start a course of action. And in our last police committee meeting, we discussed parking in the parking lots also. And Trustee Sadati, his role in highway, is going to be making contact, and I'll be happy to help him make contact with our new supervisor, and we can discuss some signage to update, and there's a few nuanced things about how we will proceed with enforcing there, but it's all being identified carefully and methodically with and it's a priority. And I really thank the commissioner for, dropping right in and taking that ball and running it. So that's all I have for police.
Finance, Trustee Ruffin.
Well, I'd like to just make one comment on my outgoing. I appreciate having worked in it. Jessica McMahon, I just wanted to make another statement that she's officially ended her tenure here. But I really want to once again just thank her for her willingness to come back into the fold and take a course of action when we needed her. She did it, to the best of her ability, having another full-time job. And she left, willing to help us should we ever find ourselves in a difficult position again. But it's worth thanking her. I thank her, and the residents I represent also like to thank her. So, and that's it. Take it away, Mike.
For Finance Committee update, on Tuesday, December 6th at 8 a.m., myself, Jen, and Adam had met with Dora Panagopoulos, our new treasurer, up in the hall, and we were hoping to see really more of a budget, but Dora advised us, due to unforeseen issues that she was dealing with, she's still finding some checks and tidying up and doing some housekeeping items, that she wasn't able to put this together for our perusal. And hopefully by the next Finance Committee meeting, which if everybody's amenable to, I think we'll call for next Tuesday at 8 a.m. Hopefully we'll actually solidify some numbers. No? What time?
I can't, Tuesday, I don't know, I'm gonna be coming back from Maine.
Oh, okay, so we'll
Maybe
discuss that
Wednesday or
later.
Thursday, yeah.
Or maybe we'll get a fill-in for you, whatever works. But hopefully next board meeting we'll have some solidification and we'll actually have some numbers and see where we really are. As of right now, I don't know about anybody else, but I'm really hesitant to throw out any actual figures and whatnot because everything is still being sifted through. Anybody, anything to add, Mr. Mayor?
What numbers were you looking for?
We wanted to just really talk about, where we were in terms with the, for one thing, fund balances. I know you are interested in that. And really, there was not much presented to us. I don't know if Adam or Jen has anything else to add about it.
There's really nothing to add. There's,
Really
I
nothing there,
doubt
unfortunately.
if your line items are even close to what they are.
still in process, and we just need, hopefully by next month, we'll have more information.
Right, that's what she told me too, because I'm looking for the same thing. How much is in our capital improvements and how much?
Well, you have to be, here's what I've learned. When you ask for a fund balance, you have to be very specific. You have to say at the end of a month, because you can't get it on the day that of the water board meeting, because there's a process, because you're paying bills all the time. So, say for January, you would need a fund balance through the end of December, because you're processing bills and whatever, and payroll and whatever.
Yep.
Now, when I gave the fund balance to the water board, not this meeting, the meeting before, I gave the number, I deducted all the bills that were in the packet that were gonna be paid, and then I deducted all the payroll from the water department, and came up with a number, which you got.
Right.
Then we needed
Capital
the
improvement.
capital project, and so
Right.
then I got that number, because then I asked her specifically, and that number should be fairly stable, because they're not doing a capital project right now.
We didn't do any projects, but money goes in each time, money goes into the other.
Right. Oh, on the other one, money's always going in and out paying.
Well, the percentage of that also goes into the capital fund, I found out today.
So, that number should have increased.
Mm-hmm.
So, when she can generate,
But back until you got that, we were asked to vote on that project, and we didn't know if we had the money to pay for it. Just like when I ran into Jen, and said, we'd like to hire two, she says, do you have the money in your budget? I don't know. The budget that Andrew showed me, he was just happy that the beginning number and the ending number were so close together, but I didn't see line items or how much it was, so.
but I told the commissioners, and maybe trustee Huber can verify it, I told them that you had the money because in the course of this year, the bond payment that would come out of the water department for their bonds, we got that money, we're getting that money for the next 3 years from EFC because they gave us that money, $354,000. So it's $107,000 a year you get back.
That is fine.
So you had the money, you have the money for the employee and for this one, and I believe you have the money for the second one. At least you're good for 3 years, if so desired. But I remember, I believe I said that to the commissioners.
You did a while ago.
Yeah.
Okay. Think about it, yeah.
You know, so,
So you're
and
saying
that money would be replaced, what, go ahead?
So you're saying that money could be used for employees?
I'm just saying that that money is there. It was allocated for a bond payment that was in the budget, in their budget, and you're not making that bond payment. EFC, the state, is making the bond
So
payment.
that money is going into our general fund?
No, the money has been allocated in the budget for all your bond payments. Okay? So the money is allocated for the $107,000. But it's not like the treasurer is gonna make a wire transfer to somebody for this $107,000. EFC, excuse me, is gonna make the wire transfer to pay the debt indebtedness.
So the money's sitting there.
So the money is still sitting there in the budget.
I don't think you explained it like that.
Okay.
Well, I guess the hope going forward, we do have a new treasurer, and hopefully we can get this done and help her in any way possible to get to the point where at our monthly meetings and before our monthly meetings, before our finance meetings, we have the reports that we always had in the past that come out and they hand them to you and you go by line and we know where our pluses are, we know where our minuses are, we know what we spent year to date.
Right.
Obviously, that's the goal for us here. We're slowly working towards it. Anything we can do to help Dora hurry that process along, we are in the middle of trying to do. So that, going forward, yes, to sit here and try to figure out, we got extra money from this or extra money from that. Our goal is to go back to our forms that are, here you go. It's the end of July. We've used 30% of our budget so far for this year. We got 70% left of it.
Right.
That's our goal, and we will get there.
Okay. Sorry to take your time, though.
It's okay.
All right, Highway Department, Trustee Sadati.
Okay, so our highway superintendent has retired, and our personnel committee has done a very swift job in finding a replacement, so we're looking forward to his start date. In the meantime, our highway foreman, Tom Polkowski, has been helping, keeping the men doing their daily duties and taking care of this last little bit of snow we had, and everything seems to be going smooth. And we look forward to the start date of the new superintendent.
Can we get his name again, the highway superintendent, the new one?
John?
It's in there,
It's on
in the resolution.
All right. Sorry, my fault.
Is that spelled right?
Well, this way the residents and the people in the audience can know the name of the guy. I mean, they don't have the paper.
John Nukolovic.
Nukolovic.
Where's he from?
Doesn't say where he's from.
Mayor
Putnam
I
County.
believe he's from Mayapack, looking to move here.
Okay, thank you, Trustee Sadati. Fire and Lake, Trustee Huber.
Well, the fire department had a busy month in November. 51 calls for the whole month of November. And everything, they had their elections. We just read all that off. And, Lake, we're at a standstill. We're gonna try to do something with a couple companies going to give us some prices on treatment that we can put in there with the help of the DEC, because we have to apply for a permit and stuff, so working on something for that.
Is that it?
That's it?
May I add one thing to that?
Yes, sir.
This past weekend, I was sitting on my couch. I saw flashing lights. I heard kids screaming. My heart was in my mouth. I went outside to see, I believe it was Garner, with Santa Claus going through the village. Kids were yelling. They were throwing candy. It was a grand thing.
It was awesome. It was awesome.
The Santa Run.
Yes.
They do that every year.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing for the community. And thank you to them.
Okay, last month, as the safety manager, chairman, whatever you want to call it, I need to get the ductwork cleaned. I was here when they broke ground for this building over 20 years ago. It was about 25 years ago. And the ductwork hasn't really been thoroughly ever cleaned, to my knowledge. And some of the employees
We're talking the inside.
inside, upstairs and down, all of it, should be clean. I went out and I looked for 3 quotes. One wouldn't quote it, 2 did. The one that I think I would pick would be the one, they're called Folks Home. You may have seen their trucks around. Red truck says Folks all over it. At $5,670. The other quote I got from a well-known company was significantly higher than that. It was $8,700 to do it during the day and $12,500 to do it off shift. But the problem I have now is I am also the building manager, and when we do our budget based on historical data or whatever people tell me, like the firemen are gonna need a new air conditioner, or somebody else needs this or that, and the other thing I put in the budget. But for some reason this year, all of that money got lumped into one spot. So I really don't know what I have available right now. We did buy air conditioners for each house, and that came out of it, but until I don't want to ask the board to commit to anything here until I know that I have a fund balance.
So do you want, since we are working to that end with the treasurer for fund balance as per trustees Niznik and Ruffin, you want to table this to January?
I'd like to table it to January meeting, and I'll ask folks to hold off. I think they give you like 60 days anyway before they change the quote. And then I would ask the board going forward to go back to the way we used to do it and allocate per building rather than lump it all in one spot.
Well, yes, that would be the budgetary process in that format.
Okay. So I'm gonna hold.
I think that's quite clear that that's how the board wants to do it.
Yeah.
Back.
We're not gonna lump anymore. Okay.
No lumping.
So I'm going to table this to our January meeting.
May I ask a question, sir?
Yes.
You had said the one estimate was for during the day, one at night.
Yeah.
Does this require closing the building, or is that a weekend evening rate?
I reached out to folks for this, and it's a single rate. They told me they can do it during the day without very much interruption, and I believe them because there actually isn't anybody in this room. There's only a few in this one back here on this floor, and a couple of us upstairs. If it's going to take them an hour, we can move to another area in the building and work while they do that.
That's all I wanted.
I would try to get them early, if I can, before the start of workday, to at least do the workstations first. But I think that's, in comparison to what I look for, that's a pretty decent price.
Very good price.
Recreation, we think we talked about that. John?
I believe we did. Once again, thanks to all the volunteers, thanks to all the participants, thanks to the PDPA, the fire departments, and everybody who participated in the Halloween event, in the Christmas event, and in the upcoming Hanukkah event. Anybody who wants to attend, 20th, 5:30, welcome to attend. Thank you all to all the board members who either donated or came or made floats. Thank you all very much.
Very good. Water Department. Think we...
Well, we talked about it, and we talked about the meeting we had, and we did some interviews. We also need to consider that moving forward on this filtration plant and the weeping out of the manganese and the iron, we will, after we get our bond counsel, we will need to go out to get a bond. A ban, temporarily while the parts are going to be ordered, but that's a way out. But we have to have some funding in place for this project. And so there's no firm number yet, but we were given a number that what we should look to ban in the neighborhood of $3.2 million. They believe between the engineer and our grant writer, they believe it will come in at around 2.5, if that's the number I remember hearing. So I'm putting the board on notice because the water department doesn't do any bonding or banning or whatever. Has to come to the village board. So I'm putting the board on notice that this is eventually going to happen. And I think it might be relatively soon.
When we get the number, it's still 42 weeks out from when we place the order, but we need to know that we have the funding before we can place the order and put it out to bid.
That means our water bill goes up more now.
We're trying not to raise water again, but
Thank God we got that state-of-the-art facility, right?
Personnel, trustee Nesnick.
Well, just hired a highway superintendent. Other than that, we're pretty good.
Tri-Muni, mayor.
Well, we had the usual meeting. Here again, Tri-Muni in the next few years, not quite this year, there will be, I keep telling there's going to be an expansion. I don't know if it's going to be piecemeal or they're going to do it all at once, but that total amount of work that needs to be done is 11 million bucks, and our share is about 4 million on the sewer. It's all done by percentages. We're at around 36% of the cost, based upon the flows and everything and usage. We're at 36, the town of Wappinger is at 47%, and the town of Poughkeepsie's got the tiniest share, because they only have that one little district. But there will be some construction within the next 5 years, that's sure, for sure.
I just have a couple updates.
Okay. Well, then I
Yeah, I just got a couple dates before you get to.
okay.
I attended the Dutchess County I'm on the Dutchess County Landfill Committee, and they will not have an increase this year, so that's good news. There's a cost associated with that every year that we have to pay for the engineers and covering and the landscaping, so that's good. The MS4 committee meeting that I had today, and I'm chairman of that, we are going to be asking each of the 17 municipalities to kick in $500 each on top of the $23,000 we have already, because there's a new permit process coming out, and it's going to be a lot more detailed than it has been in previous years. So we'll plan on that when we do our budget. We had a diesel mechanic for many years, is not doing it anymore for the village. So I put an advertisement in the Southern Dutchess News to run 2 weeks, next Wednesday and the following Wednesday, and all the bids should be in by January 6th. As you know, we're in the winter season, we got to have a diesel mechanic. Something breaks down, so that's ongoing.
Thank you.
That's it.
Okay. Any questions, comments? Walt?
Yep, thank you. If you don't know me, Walt Nash, Walter Nash, 1 North Street in the village. I was informed last week by Mayor Serino that there was an error in bookkeeping by the village treasurer, and that my property tax payment was not correctly recorded with Dutchess County, and that my name and my wife's name appeared on the delinquent payment list. The mayor's also reassured me that this will be corrected after we provided proof of payment, which has been done. I thank the mayor for handling this problem, and he assured me that we would not be held responsible for any late fees or fines. I and my wife, however, would like the village to provide a letter stating that this was a problem created by the village and that we have paid in full and on time taxes due. I also feel that the same letter be sent to all the other village taxpayers affected by this. I think that would be appropriate.
I would agree with you.
Okay, that's my simple ask. Also, I normally watch these board meetings on YouTube. I'd like to suggest that these, when these meetings reach this open portion of the meeting, that you could put out a phone number where we could have a live call-in to satisfy anybody out there that might be watching. There's probably about 30 people watching, possibly. Open it up so that those people could call in and make any requests, any questions that they have for you, for whatever reason. And you could also limit that, because it could be, you can make it into a considerable, reasonable amount of time. You don't want something to go on and on and on and on. In other words, put a cap on it. And with that, I'd like to say thank you, and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all of you.
Any other comments?
I'll have one comment. Let's see. Anything from the police commissioner? Okay. So, as you know, there'll be political caucuses in 6 weeks or so for elections. I will not be part of that process because I don't plan to seek re-election as your mayor. So, when one door closes, another door opens. So, I have had offers, and I will be investigating, and I will be accepting an offer in the private sector. But I won't be on the ballot in 2023, and so effectively my village trustee and mayor career is over. And I wanted to make that announcement sooner rather than later. And that's why I'm doing it at the December meeting, because caucuses are at the end of January. And so that's it. So can we have a motion?
Congratulations.
Will you be with us the rest of the term, Mayor?
Yes. I'll work till 12 noon on April 2nd, I believe. Whatever that first Monday in April is. I'll work right to 12 noon.
And may I express my personal, and I'm sure I represent many people's, thanks to you for your many years of work for the village.
Thank you.
April 3rd.
It's April 3rd, okay.
And if you see,
Trustee
Ken
Lorasella, did you
Cruz,
want to
we
say
thank him
something?
for 32 years with the village.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. No, I just
Asked you a couple.
maybe it was.
It may be sooner than, the attorney just informed me that the water operator foreman's last day, Kenny Cruzy, is December 28th, but he may be done earlier than that, depending on if he's taken some vacation time or whatever. So I don't know exactly what his actual last work day is. Would have to find that out, but I'm sure he'll be taking a few other days that he has entitled to.
You know, I will like to say about Mr. Cruzy, I didn't know him prior to my role here, and I've connected with him on many occasions, oftentimes him lobbying for the crew of people that work with him, and I can honestly say that he's really an exceptional person. He has really great energy. I don't mean it in a metaphysical way. I mean, he really meets the conversation with palpable energy, and he has tremendous respect from everyone that works with him. And you know, in a village where this is your challenge to find it, I've yet to hear anyone say a bad word about the man. And when you hear that he worked for a place for 32 years and you can't find someone to say anything bad about a man, that's a pretty amazing thing. And I think the village will be sorely missing a person of that ability and openness and care for his village. Every conversation I've had with him, he says, Adam, thank you for your time. If there's anything I can do for you or the people of the village, please pick up the phone and call me. And so my only regret is that I didn't work with him longer. And I think he's probably taught a lot of the people that work with him quite a lot about things that might not even involve water. So I will miss Mr. Cruzy, and I'm grateful for his service, and I think the village on the whole will miss him.
Well said.
Yeah, they will, for sure.
Second that.
Can I have a motion to go into executive session?
I'll make that motion.
I'll make it.
Second that motion.
Who was that?
That was trustee Ruffin.
All in favor?
Aye. Current litigation.
Carried.